you think he's the one that brought you over to Enemy of the State then? Do you?
Oh, I know for a fact. I got him. I remember I got him a bottle of Cristal at the end because my dad used to chaperone me. Because when I started the film, I was 17, but then my birthday. So he remembered my dad. And I remember we did Enemy of the State. He asked, "How's your dad?" He was a good man. I remember he said to me, "Lillo," to say thank you. He said, "Lillo, you're a sweet kid. You were a brilliant Vossler. We will definitely be working together again." And then that wasn't even an audition or anything. It was just a straight offer through my agent. And they said, "Lillo, Tony Scott wants you. It's one day. It's this union guy." And I don't care if I was an extra just to work with Tony again. And then we worked together again. And I remember the first time I saw him after all those years, because what they did was, for that character, I remember the wardrobe woman said, "Tony wants a polyester look for this character," which I thought fit perfectly for a union guy. He's a little rough around the edges. You know what I mean? So I remember they literally had a whole rack of all different polyesters and different colors. It was the same look, just different mix and matches. So the way we did it was we took I try to literally 20 or 30 different combinations, and we took all pictures, and then they would pin them up on this board. And then when Tony had some time between shots, he came to where we were because he wanted to say, okay, I like that one. That's what I wanted to wear. But I remember when he saw me, he goes, "Oh no, not you again." He said, "Oh no." It was so, you know what I mean? He's a great guy, you know? It was great to see him. And then, I worked with Will Smith on that. Will Smith, so it was cool being in his presence. That was surreal because I always watched Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and stuff like that. And then to see him just walk in the room, it's Will Smith, And, but I am so fortunate that to be able, I'm fortunate to be able to tell you these stories, to say, oh yeah, sometimes I don't even realize,
At this point, did you feel like you become part of Hollywood elite? Because you have Smith.
No, I never quite reached that level. I think my addiction took control of me before anything like that could have even started to happen. How about that? Yeah. I mean, listen, I've had a very big taste of it. I'm still pursuing it. I'm writing, which I love because I have a lot of ammunition. I have a lot of things to write about. You know what I mean? Just a lot of things that I've seen in all the different walks of life, in my own life, that I can write about, and stuff that your average person doesn't see every day. That's the kind of stuff I want to write about, just to show you and other people like me what we've been through and maybe why we are who and why we act the way we do nowadays. You know what I mean? And who we are now. It's you know what I mean? Just to show certain experiences and things. And for those that can relate, great. And for those that can't relate and don't really know, well, this is what this is, And I think a lot of people will be really interested, to see, and just I think they'll be blown away and maybe look at addicts and, people as such in a different way after seeing stuff that I want to create, because I'm creating it from my heart and from my soul because I lived it. You know what I mean? So it's coming from a real place, to where I remembered the way I felt. You know what I mean? That moment of when I'm,